Joining us for a bit is Mr. Moon Griffon. It's the Moon Griffon Show, 9 till 11 a.m. weekdays here on KEEL. Hey, Moon, Happy New Year. It's been a while. I hope all is well.
Oh, it's great. Happy New Year's to you guys. It's been awesome. I'm ready to go.
We had 3 guests on yesterday. We had Governor John Bel Edwards. We had Sean Wilson from the DOTD. We had Dr. Rick Bateman from BIPSI. And then we had a story this morning, Dr. Ghali, G.E. Ghali, from the medical school here in Shreveport. And there was a common thread to all of those stories, those interviews. And it's, we all need more money. We're running out of money. We got to take more money from you. Now, I understand why BIPSI and the medical school are running a little low of cash because they're dependent on government for a lot of their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Moon, we've gotten to this point where government is it's this house of cards that government operates like like we're Denmark, and yet the citizens want something else. Is it all about to implode?
It has to. It's going to. And the reason it's going to, and what you just saw, I think, in the election of Trump, is that people are tired of the same old. They're tired of hearing if we do this and we do that and we give up more money, prosperity for everybody, and they don't see it. And look, we got a spending problem in the state. I've watched this for 23 years. They don't fix anything. They don't adjust anything. They don't change anything. Give you an example. The guy at the DOTD, according to Vitter and John Kennedy, who they get the numbers and they look, we spend 11 cents for every dollar on the actual road. Well, how do you fix roads for 11 cents on a dollar? You don't. But nobody wants to talk about it. Where is the money going? What did we do with the money that the last time we passed the tax for roads? Why did we wait to $13 billion in the backlog? Why we didn't do something when it was $1 billion? So it tells me a lot. Our priorities in Louisiana have never been really good, and that's our problem. They can cry, whine, all they want to. I don't understand in our state, but the economy is really struggling overall. I don't know about Shreveport. You'd have to tell me, but overall, it's struggling. We had floods where people lost their homes. The oil and gas industry really took a lick.
Who's dropping the ball, Moon? Who is not keeping a close eye on our money? Is it our governor? Is it our state treasurer? Is it our lawmakers?
No, it's the good old boy network. They don't want to change anything here. That's why they keep coming back for money. They keep coming back for money because they don't want to change their habits and what they've been doing. And what they do is all these little projects that we're funding all over the state have nothing to do with the state budget. Example, if y'all want a new sidewalk in the Shreveport, an area up there, Horton, whatever, then the Horton ought to vote for the tax and pay for it themselves. They'll not go to the state of Louisiana and get that money from the state and say, well, this is a state priority. It's not a state priority. If y'all want new water system in Shreveport, Louisiana, y'all should vote for the tax and pass it. You shouldn't go to the state of Louisiana. And think about it, 64 parishes. How many municipalities are there? There's hundreds.
But Moon, it's going to get to a point. It's going to get to a point where we already have an out migration problem. It's going to get to a point where the average Joe and Josephine, like myself, decides to go live in a hut in Alaska.
Well, the thing about it is everybody needs to realize we got too many people not pulling their weight. Government has grown so big in the state, local, and federal government. What they say is a need becomes a need because they created the need. So, give me an example. Let's say a school system decides they're going to take some federal money for this new program. Now, this is everything. It's not just school system. So they take this program from the federal government, and the government funds it for 1 or 2 years. But it includes 3 or 4 new employees. So y'all decide in your area that you really like it. But the government's not spending any more money. So you got to all of a sudden increase local taxes or something, the money from the state, so you keep the program going. That's what's happening.
John Bell.
Everywhere.
John Bell said yesterday, we had the news bite, had the soundbite top of the hour news, that Louisiana, and anytime a Democrat, a liberal says reform, blank reform, tax reform, health care reform, you know they're talking about more money. He's talking about tax reform, and you know what that means.
Well, listen, tax reform, let me tell you what a real tax reform looks like. Lower rates spread out for more people to pay. So in other words, instead of 5 of us pulling the weight, all 10 of us pull a weight, and we all pay a lower percentage. Guess what? I got more money. Erin's got more money, but there's some people who haven't been pulling the weight. They won't have more money because it's time for them to help. You don't keep hitting the people that are working. We got the third highest unemployment rate in the country. Third highest. Our economy's not rolling, y'all. And look, Bill Edwards, I listened to a little bit of the program yesterday because I happened to be in a car, and he was on his statewide program. And a woman from Lafayette called and said, basically what y'all saying, we're tired of it. Where we go from here? And he told a lady, well, I've already cut $850 million out the budget. Well, hold up just a second. You add $2.5 billion and you claim you cut $850 million out. That's still a pretty good tax increase. I want y'all to remember this too. With Bobby Jindal's last year and Edwards' first year, they tried to say when a tax increase, something to do with the GRAD Act, but that got removed. So it became a $700 million tax increase. Edwards comes in, he had $1.8 billion. $2.5 billion, biggest tax increases we ever had in the history of Louisiana. Our budget is bigger than it's ever going to be. I'm not talking about federal money. Biggest it's ever going to be at $27+ billion, most ever. Okay, and we still can't fix anything. We still have the same problem. So what does that tell you? If you got the most money you ever had, you had the biggest tax increase you ever had, but you haven't adjusted. They had addressed spending not one penny. Then what does that tell you? Then it's always going to be we need more money.